Yo, how's it going? Back doing the weekly streams. Um, where we're looking at taking uh the OWL 360 camera and using it for some interesting stuff. Diving into this kind of rabbit hole of making some drone footage using a drone controller. And I've just managed to get the Helios drone running in Unreal as its own blueprint, so hopefully fully customizable drone in Unreal Engine. Just to recap a little bit, uh, let's find the Helios drone in the marketplace. I picked this drone because I was looking to make. All right, let me show you what I was looking to make. What kind of stuff? So I found the kind of footage I was after. This is what I was trying to find last week. These kind of TikToks or Instagram vids. Okay, it's still on there. Oh, you got this like funny little drone flying around. I love the way it's got this kind of weird dash cam. Um, and just sort of, yeah, VHS-y overlay, blown out colors and everything. And then yeah, just these like awesome little techie movements as the drone is kind of flying around. So I want to make this, but as an immersive video, so you could watch it in a dome or on a headset. So um, yeah, that's the whoa. That's the kind of stuff we're after. There's a recent Corridor Crew video as well, which this is just mad. It's another TikTok or something by OK Garmin. And yeah, that was a Blender render. And again, it just goes to show that like a bit of this like backrooms VHS kind of overlay stuff can really sell. It can just kind of smooth over a lot of the CG. I guess they're going real deep and also fun, like, going real deep and doing some real like interlaced looking footage, which I'd love to try and recreate. Um, and what's hilarious is like well, watch the video for sure, but the dudes here are just like cardboard cutouts, literal like silhouettes. And it's like you can really get away with fudging some of this stuff if you've got the overlay. And your attention is kind of being taken, but if you look at that walk cycle and it's actually really funny. I found the actual drone after sort of like trawling through this guy's Instagram. Found this guy's Instagram and I was like, oh, I really want to know what drone this guy's using. So I just kind of dived through the comments. Everyone's saying it's a custom setup, which it may well be, but I found this one, which is the newbie drone. So it is $100, so not too bad at all. And yeah, this guy in this video is just like complaining about the camera quality in this, saying like, oh, it's a really bad camera. But I'm like, this is what I want. This is the effect I want. Doing it in 360, I think a lot of this bloom and stuff will be kind of weird, but I think we can try to recreate it. I think next week I'll do some work to make post-process effects work for 360. But yeah, this kind of glitchiness, it just means you could render an Unreal Engine render and then just smooth it over with all this stuff and just make it look way more real. So I love that. I love that kind of stuff. That's the style I want to go for. So yeah, found the actual drone that does that, which is funny. Um, but yeah, uh, back to the drone blueprint. HELIOS. This is what I'm using. It's pretty cheap for a drone that you could add to any game or, use it for anything. It's got a professional and a personal license. So if you're running under 100k, it's 50 quid, which is great. But this I found just to be the drone that like really has this kind of whippy movement. Just way better than any other Unreal Engine drone tutorial or whatever. So I was just like, you know what, I'll buy the blueprint just to get that legit kind of movement. The only other thing I've realized is that I now have to learn to be really good at flying this thing, which is really difficult, actually really difficult. But yeah, we'll do some training on that. But yeah, highly recommend this blueprint here. I've just been jumping in and using it. Another little funny diversion really was that I love this. This is sort of a non-real time. You can feed your videos into this, make them look really nice and analog. It's like a standalone program, and they've also got plugins for After Effects, maybe Blender, I'm not sure. I use the standalone program. So then I was sort of trying to vibe code a little bit and say, can you do what these things do? Algorithms developed here. Asking Gemini if they could make a H.E.L.I.S shader, which would do the same thing. Gemini just doesn't understand how to write code for Unreal's H.E.L.I.S, I've realized, so it's not quite there yet. I've gone through like loads of iterations just saying, here's what was wrong with that, blah 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 blah, sending them all the errors back, and they're like, yeah, we're really nearly there, we can get this working. I was really excited at the thought that I could just say like, copy this and give it to me as a H.E.L.I.S script. But yeah, I didn't really manage that. Maybe if I understood a bit more about writing H.E.L.I.S myself instead of just being an absolute vibe coder, then maybe that would have gone better. But I've got some post-process materials that I want to use to do the same thing. So yeah, HELIOS, remember last week I was showing the actual program itself. They've got a little free game you can try that's just a packaged version of this, so that's great. But now I've got this running as a project, I believe. Yeah, so it should be running. I can't actually plug in my controller right now, sadly, because I haven't got enough USB inputs. But so controller would be nice, but I'm just getting to just learning how to use this. So it's fun, it's fun. And yeah, it's in an Unreal project now, which is very cool. What we can do is like change the acrobatic mode. Is that right? This one? Yeah. Which means you can do flips. Well. Yeah. I'm not gonna make you watch me try and fly this that much, but I try to learn to make a good take. Ooh. Of doing some techie drone flying. And yeah, I wanted this drone just because, you got the sort of banking and turning that like any other drone blueprint on Unreal just doesn't really give you. So yeah, shouts out to this HELIOS, such a cool blueprint. So I think with the rest of this session, I can try and do a little bit of a recreation of what a post-process shader that looks like that that little drone might look like. I was trying to get this into some custom levels. So I had to do, as soon as I got into the project, I had to do this sort of async edit, which was a bit weird. I can just sort of plug and play immediately, but kind of figured it out. They've got some good documentation and they're really active on the Discord, so they kind of helped me get there. So I was trying to put this into a custom level. I think I might need to, I think there's some documentation on this as well. But I figured what I could do is kind of just stream this level into this level. So I'm going to try to do that. This kind of art gallery level that I want to use. This one. Nice. So yeah, that is now in here, which is cool. Let's remove one of the directional lights. I'll set the priority. And I'll remove that error message. Let's lower the floor of this a little bit to remove that kind of Z fighting. And then I guess we want to make the player start over here. So we can fly around the art gallery instead. Or should I just open the door and try and fly into the door? Let's do that. Bit of a challenge there. Oh, just had Unreal open up Dark Ruins. Yeah, nice. So the collisions for this are all good. I thought I'd check the collisions up here, just so I know I can fly in here and everything. Collisions are looking nice. Oh, interesting about that disappearing roof there. Wait, is there a bit of glass here? Is that what it is? Bit of glass. So yeah, don't know if I'm going to use this level, but wait, let me just quiet this down. It is actually nice to have the sound of the drone. Oh. Like hearing the actual sound kind of helps you know that you're kind of pressing the button. Oh, okay, so the level isn't streaming by default. Is that like open streaming level and begin play, maybe? Oh, I can't remember how to do streaming level stuff. Let's see what that does. Oh, yeah, nice. I'm in the art gallery. So it's like so twitchy, but some kind of little video like this could be quite cool. Oh, this is quite a good spot for it. Oh, and I'm stuck in the roof. Nice. Okay, so collisions could be a little more fine. I do know I might have a little look at lowering the sensitivity of this. I know there's like some good stuff in the blueprints for doing that. Also some documentation on it, so this might be one for next time, but let's see, like there's actually not much in this test form. Interesting. If you go into the like actual HELIOS, like yeah. This is the actual blueprint here. You got like all of this, like field of view, throttle, pitch. So it does give you loads of stuff to play with. So yeah, multipliers for all of this, I guess. And yeah, in the Discord, there's loads of discussion on this, like how to hook it up to feel like a certain drone. So very nice. But yeah, what I want to do is take a take, do some fairly decent flying around. And then work on the post-process after, I think. Well, you know what? Let's do the post-process now. We've done take recorder before. Done it a couple of times now in this stream. Have done post-process stuff before, but I want to just try and really nail this kind of VHS-y look. VHS dash cam kind of look. I don't think people do it that well in Unreal in general. No one's quite got it to the point that it's at in a lot of other programs like Blender. I don't think. It's gonna make the collision really fine for everything. Then we'll get that ability to fly up through the cracks and stuff. Yeah, that's like dumb collisions, but probably won't even impact performance that much. Yeah, now we can go through the rafters and stuff. That's cool. You need to get good at this though. Whoa. I guess he kind of goes in the direction you point, regardless. Yeah, is that pointing down a little bit? I guess because the fans are kind of idling. That does help a bit. Oh, stuck again. Nice. Quite funny, they do a lot of like landing on stuff and then being like, alright, see you later. I flip away. Yeah, cool. That collision is nice. Means I can fly around over in and out of stuff. Yeah, post-process wise. Could drop a post-process volume into this level. add some materials. So I've got some materials that I've moved over. Yeah. So I've got this one for color. Turn off the collisions. So it's super blurry, but let's have a little look. So yeah, what this aims to do is just add a bit of kind of embossing to the edges, kind of sharpness, and like a sharpness filter for an old camera. Yeah, like that. So like these old cameras tend to like up the sharpness to make up for the fact that they've got that bad low resolution. Quite like making a bit of an emboss sharpness filter. Yeah, so I'm already I'm liking that. I'm liking that. That's cool. Could give it a bit of a hue as well. And tends to be a bit cooler, I think. Kind of reference this back again. Yeah, like this, or this is the real reference here. I love this. I guess it's not necessarily cool, it's just kind of like overexposed. Just like the wrong colors everywhere, you know. It's like the hue has been shifted as well, so we could do a bit of a hue shift. Let's go like outside. Oh, that's super overexposed. Too much. Guess it depends where we are. Guess let's kind of configure it for this scene. This is where we are. So yeah, kind of show you under the hood what this is doing. I basically looked up a sharpness filter. Kind of played around with it a little bit. I guess like what this is doing, it's taking the same texture value, but shifting them all around a little bit, and then mushing them together in the vaguest terms there. That's why it's got this kind of doubling effect. See the edges of stuff. It's just shifting the same image multiple times and overlaying it. Yeah, that is actually what these sharpness filters would have done. I'm not really sure what this sharpness type ends up doing really, but I like the discoloring kind of effect that we're getting there. So like something like that is looking quite VHS-y. I want to keep it subtle, really. I think subtle is good. You give something over the top, but actually be a bit less convincing. It's like when people don't really know what they're looking at, why it looks weird. That can be more convincing. We could add a hue shift just right here. I think I would want to do a bit of an animated hue shift, really. But let's see what we can do. of fun. Again, it's so extreme. We don't want to like get incredibly subtle. So 0.00 something, maybe a tint as well then, which yes, that's this really. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so adding a tint as well. That's white by default. Yeah, it makes sense that this is in this shader because it's just general color stuff. Hue shift, tint. I don't really know how that differs to this color. Okay, so it's a bit more integrated. This is like a color overlay right at the end. I want it to be. Let me do that and then shift it back. I don't know, it's just wrong. Not really right. Okay. Keep it like slightly greeny. It's a bit over the top, isn't it? Not bad, not bad. I think not very subtle, not very subtle, you know. I'd like to try this out with some trees actually. Don't have this in this project right now, do we? See if I can just move it over while I'm here. But okay, let's leave that for now. And maybe do a bit of like saturation, desaturation. There's a contrast thing, right? Cheap contrast. Is that, how's that different to RGB? Don't know. I know there's something about shifting the color space can be quite convincing. Oh, is that just making it black and white? Contrast, RGB. Oh, contrast, preserve color, maybe. Okay, it's doing the job. Nice. And then on saturation as well, which is desaturation here. And then we could do a 1 minus. Just so as the saturation goes up, the saturation goes up. As the slider goes up. Cool. I feel like more saturation. No, more contrast but less saturation. Or the other way around. Oh yeah, actually, those whites not being that deep is kind of interesting. Is it? Is it actually how it works? I wish this image wasn't so small. It does look like the white values are not that low though. Like, oh sorry, the shadows are not that dark sort of thing. Let's see. Doo-ba-doo, doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. yes, it is all completely grey in comparison. Like, it's all super grey. So maybe just want a grey overlay, a tint of grey. Light grey. Yeah. Way less contrast. Minus contrast? Maybe a little. Way less saturation. But more sharpness. Maybe. I don't know. That is like technically looking like it's matching a bit more. I don't rate the look of it massively. Be interesting to see in some other scenarios. We got the blown out highlights. We got a bit of edginess. I think sort of the wobbliness and the movement of it all kind of sold it as well. And the fact that it's pixelated, actually. You know what? I'm gonna go with my gut a little bit. Bring this up a bit more. Sharpness. Okay. The size smaller. Saturation. Low. Ooh, okay with that for now. I actually think it was looking better a few steps ago, but that's okay. Saturation is just kind of warm, which isn't exactly the same thing. That's cool. And another post process I've got. God, that's just quite hard to look at now. Another post process I've got is like a pixelation shader. Cool. Which like isn't necessarily exactly the case here. This is more like interlaced, which we could look into. It's kind of blurred as well, right? Such low res. Could we like bring the screen percentage down? Oh, like it's in conjunction with the pixelate. I think it's just like the calculations are not quite right. Well, it's causing that noise in the distance and stuff. But yeah, a bit of pixelate could be cool. Just to show you what that's doing. Kind of cool. It's a bit kind of bitty in the distance. I wonder if you could like make it distance based so that it pixelates less as you get further away. I think that's what you would want. Could kind of look at doing. But yeah, kind of add some jaggediness. Also got a kind of displacements shader, which I don't know how well this will do in 3D, but I thought I had a displacement. Okay, well, let's look at this overlay video instead. Pull up where I got that one from. Does it find the local path here? No. Okay. Cool. Just gonna open up this other project that I got these from. I was using all this to make a lot of like PSX, PlayStation 1 style stuff. So all this stuff kind of comes in handy. That is looking a bit more like one of these drones though, which is cool. Definitely some stuff we could do. But yeah, that sort of edge is great. Yeah, kind of crispy edge is nice. I don't know if the H.E.L.I.O. is doing that much for it. But yeah, I love the sharpness filter. I think the slight hue shift is like almost there. I make that a bit more subtle. Oh my god, it's so hard to get into a window. Come on, come on. Come on. Yes. I mean, yeah, it's definitely some of the way there. I think there's a lot of visual artifacts, like a lot of noise. I think maybe even turning off lumen could help. I'm getting a lot of noise in the shadows. Bit of visual artifacting. I do think the colours are a bit more convincing. Nice. So yeah, let's find this video. So we want, yeah, noise. We want displace. Want them to go into Helios 5.5. Okay, apparently I already have these in here. Okay, noise, nice. So this is cool. It's quite a common shade, the way you sort of add some displacement, but I'm sort of like using it wrong in a way by making the scale really big or really small. I guess really big has a certain effect, which could be kind of cool, but really small, I like. 'Cause it's sort of like when you got the kind of steady cam stuff, or like the effect of, I don't know what that is, like, you know, the footage catching up with itself, kind of interlacing kind of stuff. Yeah, really subtle like that. It's cool. Just looks a bit glitchy, which is great. See, I could layer up a couple of these, which is nice. Um, yeah, so this actually for the edges of stuff. Already really small, but it's zoomed in more, so I feel like it's bigger, even though it's a smaller value. But yeah, I love that for the kind of choppiness. Upping the speed a lot almost makes these like vertical interlacing lines, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so this is just like a displacement shader. So it's like noise over the UVs of the image. It's the texture doing some kind of like panning stuff to offset the UVs. And yeah, it's just a noise texture. So yeah, love kind of misusing this noise texture for that. Bumpy bumpy. That's really cool. I feel like you could do that with the hue as well to make the hue move around randomly in different places. Love to get into that. Um, yeah, what happens if we do ray tracing instead of lumen here? Nah, got none of that global illumination, of course. So yeah, maybe we could bake the lighting to really make it a bit nicer. The order of these materials actually matters as well, so could be something, you know, to come from reordering these. Maybe this needs to be last. Yeah, interesting. And then yeah, one more I wanted to show. Is this? Oh, We got we got a video here. Nice. Yeah. Just got my mate to film his like CRT monitor. Maybe I need to restart. Um, cool. Got the files here anyway now. So yeah, bring that in here. So yeah, this is nice. Might want to vignette it a bit, combine it with a vignette, so it's only doing the edges, not going over everything. But yeah, I got that overlay video. So what can we change here? If we create an instance. So yeah, if we got this a bit more accurate and like add the little numbers down here and stuff, this could really start to look like one of these. Is the idea. Yeah, kind of getting there. Um, so yeah, this is just multiplied over with a screen blend mode. I don't know what I could do to. I'll have to look into this a bit more, but uh, something like that. Oh yeah, that's not really the overlay amount. Our channel amount, and then we could do a whole overlay opacity as well. Should be that into that. Oh. We want to do there. We want like an append somewhere. So that's a 3 vector. Maybe doing like append. Like that. RGB Wait, is that right? Surely that's a 3 vector. Maybe it's a 4 vector. Okay. Then what? Okay, that ain't right. I guess because I'm mixing it with everything by appending. Well, it was looking better with just this R channel overlay, to be fair. Yeah, and then I would love a general opacity of this. Could just see what another video would look like as well. Like going to where the texture is, drop this one in, load that one up instead. It's pretty intense all over the whole screen like that. If only had to whip up like a vignette, that'd be really good. Let's just draw it in Photoshop. Be lazy. Okay. Do like this. Nearly done. Right, yeah. So I'll just make this vignette, finish it up. So this could be filled with black and then blurred. Like that. And save that as a JPEG. Somewhere. Nice. I don't think this is going to do exactly what I want it to do, but interesting last experiment for this session. And then just drag this blur in here, blur map. And then what does this want to do? Does this want to like be the alpha for that? With the R channel. Oh. What is that? How many? What is the color? So surely it's RGB. And then surely this is RGB as well. Oh, it's just the R channel. Okay. Factor 3. Flow 3. It is a flow 3, surely. Oh, okay, that worked. Nice. Cool. Yeah, so that's just happening on the edges. Bit less in your face, but it is just a bit less realistic. Kind of what I thought would happen. Less in your face is cool though. Yeah, so yeah, that was some VHS-y stuff. I think we could get to a really, really nice VHS effect if we really honed this in. But yeah, next time I guess I'll take a take with this. Think about making it 360 friendly. Some of these post-process effects wouldn't be off the bat. I've got some ideas for how to make that happen. Get better at flying this drone is definitely on the cards as well. Yeah, maybe adding some other discoloration-y stuff. But yeah, also let me know if there's anything you want me to look into in terms of making cool 360 videos. Yeah, thanks for those to those who tuned in this week. And yeah, do this again same time next week. Cool. Thanks a lot.